We have former Imperials working throughout every level of the New Republic government. I see no enemy. I see no enemy.
This video is brought to you by Keeps. So we are halfway through the wonderful Ahsoka show. And what have we learnt about this amazing character, Ahsoka? Well, that she likes to cross her arms. But yes, we haven't learned much about Ahsoka, but what we have learnt is Dave Filoni cannot write live action to save himself. We also learnt that Rian Johnson hasn't got a monopoly on idiotic space battles. Dave Filoni pulled out probably the stupidest space battle I've ever seen. Seriously, if what he delivered was in some B-grade 80s Star Wars ripoff, we would be laughing our asses off. But this is a multi-million-dollar Disney Lucasfilm production, so I would expect something a little less stupid. But yet his fans, the fans that are more into the Filoni cartoons than the George Lucas films, praise him. And that's why we call these fans. Why are they aiming at her and not the ship? They literally flew close enough that she could jump over the other ship, which makes zero sense in a space battle. And how is that tiny ship generating gravity?
Sabine! Did you fix the ship yet? I got it! Great! Don't get me!
Well, Ahsoka kind of forgot about Leia Poppins and the Force flying.
Remember when R2 and his pals went outside to fix Padme's ship? Dave Filoni remembers. He didn't understand why that scene made sense and his doesn't. But that doesn't matter. He's working on memories here. You know, there was a time when directors, writers and producers took pride in coming up with new original ideas. Well, not Lucasfilm. Their only idea is to repeat other people's ideas. The characters. My God, this show is full of the most smug, annoying characters I've ever witnessed. They make Reva look likeable. Glum personalities, all full of self-importance.
He never mentioned you.
When Sabine wakes up from getting skewered with a lightsaber, don't worry, I covered the ridiculousness of another lightsaber survivor stabbing scene in my last video. But when Sabine wakes up, not only does she behave like nothing has happened, by watching her acting prowess, you'd think that she just had a bad street souvlaki. Ahsoka, who I'm starting to hate, shows zero care. If anything, she just seems annoyed with Sabine. In fact, she spends most of the series looking annoyed. I'm sure Ahsoka only has two expressions, full smug and annoyed. There doesn't seem to be anything else.
If we can't make the journey to find Ezra, then no one should.
We are told that Ahsoka and Sabine have quite the history together, which for some reason turned cold. If they do share this once close bond, it would have been nice to have Ahsoka looking at Sabine with some type of love or friendship. She could have been holding her hand while she was in the hospital bed. She did, after all, just witness this once close friend almost dying. As soon as Sabine woke, Ahsoka could have pulled her hand away and gone straight into grump mode to show Sabine she's not happy with her. Showing a sign of affection would have given the audience a glimpse of what they may have meant to each other at some stage. But no, we're just going to be told they have a relationship and never shown. I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni has never heard of the old movie-making quote, show don't tell. He's only about the tell. He'll have someone tell us that Ahsoka and Sabine were once super close, Master and Padawan, but he won't show it. If it wasn't for the leather shorts on head green monster constantly filling us in on Ahsoka and Sabine's relationship, we would have no idea that they were once close friends.
Well, considering your history, I'd say that's expected.
And after being told that Ahsoka used to train Sabine, we see them partake in a Jedi lesson.
I see you still remember the basics.
But not good.
Which I can only guess is lesson 1 of day 1 in Jedi training, because Sabine's got no idea what she's doing, and she gets the same lesson Luke got on his first day of knowing about the Force.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
Put this on.
I can't see. How am I supposed to fight?
I want you to see with more than just your eyes.
What had Ahsoka been training her in the years before? Hasn't she seen people use the Force? Doesn't she even understand how it works? But, you know, who cares? Because with these scenes, all you're meant to be thinking is,
I remember when Luke did that.
I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Can't see. How am I supposed to fight?
and while the script is woeful, better actors may have been able to lift it up to something acceptable, which leads me to Ray Stevens. Man, is this guy doing all the heavy lifting as Balon Skull in this series?
Truth.
In fact, if anyone at Lucasfilm had half a brain and could move away from repeating the same stories over and over, I would be quite happy to follow Balon and his sidekick around in a completely separate adventure. But sadly, they are both stuck in this boring, slow show. And 4 episodes in, it would be great to know more about Balon.
To kill her would be a shame. There are so few Jedi left.
You can only stretch out the slight hints of a backstory for so long. At some stage, we need to actually know what this guy's about.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Let's hope they use the second half of the series wisely. And it's not just a case of Filoni creating empty Easter egg characters. Expensive, yet hollow on the inside. And for all these characters that come from a long-running show I didn't watch, it's surprising there is so little to their personalities. They should be all put through the Plinkett test. Ah, the Plinkett test. Many moons ago, back in the YouTube golden days, the original slurring critic, Red Letter Media's Mr. Plinkett, reviewed the Star Wars prequels, and it was glorious.
Oh, I can't stop.
Little did we know what the future Star Wars had in store. We may have gone a little bit easier on the prequels at that stage. Mike, the voice of Mr. Plinkett in the reviews, came up with a novel way of showing how the characters in the prequels were so lacking in personality that they would be hard to describe to someone. Yes, this was a long time ago, a time when characters having personality mattered. He asked people to describe the following Star Wars characters without saying what they look like, what kind of costumes they wore, or what their professional role was in the movie. And the results were spot on, with the original trilogy characters coming out far on top.
Han Solo.
He's a rogue. He's very arrogant, charming. He's got a bit of a dark streak to him.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
He is stoic. Well, he has a beard.
Queen Amidala.
That is going to be fucking impossible because she doesn't have a character.
Now imagine applying the same test to Ahsoka. How would you describe her, or anyone in this show? Well, you know, if you're female, it would be
stoic.
And if male, most likely moron.
Ignore them.
And one pet hate of mine that completely ruins the OT is that since Disney took over Star Wars, they've gone out of their way to diminish Luke Skywalker's victory.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Luke and his pals' happy ending was very short-lived.
Navarro has reported accounts of stormtroopers in the streets and TIE fighters openly flying above. The citizens speak of Moff Gideon occupying the town.
So short it actually makes the New Republic look like a bunch of morons that couldn't organise a piss-up in a brewery.
Uh-oh. It's not good.
Now quickly guys, coming close. I have something very important to discuss with you. Hair loss and what you can do about it. Now, no one wants to get to the stage where they have to do an Ahsoka and put a cat on their head. Keep your hair and even grow new hair with the amazing Keeps. Keeps is an online subscription service that makes it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness from the comfort of their home. So, no need for time-consuming and, quite frankly, embarrassing doctor and pharmacy visits. It's easy. Just complete an online consultation to get matched with a treatment plan that's tailored to address your hair loss concerns. Find a plan that works for your schedule with flexible 3, 6 or 12-month delivery options. Plus, you can adjust, pause or cancel your plan at any time. All Keeps treatment plans are personalised to address your unique needs and recommended by a licensed medical provider. And don't just take my word for it. Clinical studies have shown treatments offered by Keeps are 90% effective at treating hair loss and can increase hair growth by up to 35%.
Oh, robot head. You're so hairy. Are you part Wookiee?
Only the parts that count. Keeps have helped nearly 1 million men keep their beautiful hair. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair you have, Keeps has you covered. Hair loss stops with Keeps. For a special offer to get started, go to keeps.com/robothead or click on the link in the description. That's keeps.com/robothead. What are you waiting for? Get over to Keeps today and keep that beautiful hair. Now, having life turn out not as easy as we had hoped for the victors is an interesting way to go. That's if the writers have put the slightest effort into creating a believable story that leads that way. Well, this is modern Lucasfilm, and they don't work that way. They just decide the story destination and then take the biggest shortcut to get there. We've already seen that the First Order magically come back, so the only way to get there is to have the New Republic make idiotic decisions from the get-go, like wasting time, money and resources pulling apart large powerful ships to make smaller, less powerful ships.
Now we're taking them apart and using the cores to power the new ships in the defense fleet.
And then complain that they don't have enough ships to do their job.
We have a backlog of requests from member worlds that have priority. I don't even know if we have the resources, especially for pirates.
When they could have, just used the existing ships. Maybe slap a bit of paint on them so people know they're friendly.
Absolutely not. This isn't the Empire, son.
No, the New Republic's not going to do that. It's going to ignore all the Empire's science and technology breakthroughs so the story can accelerate the rise of the First Order.
That you conveniently use a threat of Thrawn's return to acquire those resources. Isn't this just another attempt to gain New Republic resources to aid in what has ultimately been your personal quest to find Ezra Bridger?
They're even going to, and this is for the slowest of Disney fans, they're even going to straight out say very clearly that the ex-Empire staff work at every level of the New Republic.
We have former Imperials working throughout every level of the New Republic government, and they have all taken an oath of loyalty.
Which makes me want to ask, how big was the Empire? I was under the impression that they were the Galaxy Police, but apparently they staffed every position from factory worker to politician on every planet.
Do the facilities still employ any of her former staff?
Of course, there's no other way to remain operational. You will still find ex-Imperials at every level of the New Republic government.
It makes the victory celebration after the blowing up of Death Star 2 look a bit premature, because that explosion must have only taken out about 10% of the Empire.
I have created the next generation Dark Trooper suit.
How did the Empire even lose power with the loss of one Death Star when they had people working through the whole galaxy?
We are no Jedi.
Don't forget, the Emperor survived. So when Death Star 2 blew up on a Friday, and what must be millions of Empire staff working at every level throughout the galaxy,
You will still find ex-Imperials at every level of the New Republic government.
they should have all been back at work on Monday. Thanks to Dave the Hack Filoni, losing the Death Star 2 now looks like a minor hiccup in the Empire's staffing levels.
We have former Imperials working throughout every level of the New Republic government. I see no enemy. I see no enemy.
Now, even though we've seen some great writing in the TV streaming world over the last couple of years, we shouldn't expect a super high standard with every show. But there are a lot of good writers out there. Not that they seem to get hired these days. But you would think, as a minimum, you would get some type of originality or flair in the story or dialogue. Even if we look at George Lucas and some of his worst dialogue, at least you can say it's memorable.
It's coarse and rough and irritating.
Just look at how many memes we got.
Hello there.
Well, that's not Dave Filoni's style. Dave writes more like a teenage boy who has little world experience and has also never read a book.
And I like to call Kanan the cowboy Jedi.
His imagination can only come up with lines he's heard 1,000 fucking times.
Nice haircut. Going somewhere?
Every line out of these characters is probably said 1,000,000 times a day by 1,000,000 different people, and every line's interchangeable with any of the characters.
I go where I'm needed.
Not always.
You never make things easy.
Why should I? You never made things easy for me.
Well, I am quite busy at the moment.
I could make this a more formal inspection if you'd like.
That won't be necessary. Please, this way.
Relax.
Don't worry about me.
I'm not.
Good.
Should I be?
What?
Worried.
Nope.
When Princess Leia quipped, it sounded like Princess Leia.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. But from now on, you do as I tell you, okay?
Han spoke in a way that wouldn't have suited Luke.
Look, your worshipfulness, let's get one thing straight. I take orders from just one person, me. I got him! Great, kid. Don't get cocky.
And when Vader spoke, he delivered lines that were memorable.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Blondie here could have said something cool, like,
"The night has come, and with it comes your death. It's a pity you have travelled so far to die in this lonely forest."
But instead we got...
Going somewhere?
Now, these are the first lines that just came to my head. Give me the bucks that Filoni's getting and I'll put a bit of work into it. More work than Filoni's putting in. Boy, have we had one original line from the guy in all his writing?
Nope.
And when he tries to show some depth, he just ends up showing that he hasn't entered the world of adults yet.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
You really believe that?
Yes. Of course, like most adults, she'd think that. It's like Ahsoka's talking to a child.
When the stakes are this high, I have to.
And not for the first time are we seeing Filoni either not understand the original movies, or his head's now so far up his own ass he can't remember them.
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker. Few would live to see what he became.
Yes, no one knew Anakin became Vader. That was the fucking point of the story, you moron. But now somehow Baylan knows that Anakin was Vader. How?
I will take the child and watch over him.
And he was a good friend.
First Reva knew about Anakin being Vader, now Baylan knows.
Anakin Skywalker is alive.
Not only did many Jedi seem to have survived Order 66,
They're Jedi.
it seems like they all knew that Anakin was still alive. All except Obi-Wan, the only one that should have probably worked it out.
You didn't know.
Star Wars is such a fucking mess. And to top off the stupid writing of a stupid story with stupid characters, Sabine, who we are meant to, I think, care about, Sabine decides to sell out the entire universe and everyone she knows in the off chance a friend of hers is alive. What a horrible, horrible character. Wow, you're a really selfish bitch. Even if they had put in some hint that she could confirm that her friend is still alive, or we felt that they were closer than they seem to have ever been, we may have gone along with this. But no, this is shortcut Lucasfilm, so don't expect any substance. She's betting on the return of pure evil and death to millions. For an acquaintance she knew that's probably dead.
That's not possible. Thrawn died at the Battle of Lothal.
The creators weren't even smart enough to make her slightly likeable or trustworthy, so this betrayal would be a surprise. No, this flip was broadcast loud and clear so the simplest of Disney fans could follow it.
She took the map off the ship when I explicitly told her not to. I fear we face a difficult choice, which is, if we can't make the journey to find Ezra, then no one should. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings. You really believe that?
I believe Dave Filoni is the worst thing that's happened to Star Wars. He's been the #1 yes man to support Kathleen Kennedy's direction, and Episode 4 really helped to cement that thought. And that was with the introduction of the world between worlds, an idea that no one seems to be able to explain, some kind of story-breaking cheat code that seems the same as time travel, even though everyone wants to say it's not time travel. And if you do say it's time travel, the Filoni Sims have a freaking meltdown. All I know is that it's a cheat code for cartoon boys who can bring back any character he wants to get an applause from the key-jangling fans.
Jingling keys. Fun for babies, not for Batman.
Which leads us to Anakin. And my God, did that send the little simp boys losing their fucking marbles. I mean, the fact that he turned up into the Obi-Wan show that was a disaster, seems to have left their little minds. Every new key jangle's going to be received with all the joy that they can possibly muster.
Jingle, 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 go the keys.
What? What? Oh my!
Anakin?
But this head movie makes my eyes rain.
So until next time, peace out, man babies.